So in the world today, we can see, we can tell ourselves different stories about what's happening in the world. And in the Work That Reconnects, we identify three main stories. And the purpose of identifying these stories is not to say which one is true, because really they're all true at the same time in different ways. But the purpose of identifying the stories is so that we as individuals get to choose which story we want to be a part of. And the three stories that we recognize, the first is called business as usual. And business as usual is the story that we hear from corporations and CEOs and business schools and a lot of political leaders. The story of business as usual is that things are fine, and that the central plot is about getting ahead. It's about profit. It's about economic growth. It's about the industrial growth society. And that these are the important things, and that everything that we're doing is okay, and things like species extinction and mass killings and natural disasters, they're all just kind of temporary side effects. The second story is the story of the Great Unraveling. The Great Unraveling is the story that we hear from environmental scientists, a lot of independent journalists. And this is the story that says that everything's falling apart, that our temperatures are rising, that the water is becoming undrinkable, that that we've reached the point of no return, and that the web of life on the planet is unraveling, and there's nothing we can do about it. So the third story is the story of the Great Turning. And the Great Turning recognizes that the Great Unraveling might indeed be happening, but that we actually have the possibility of turning things around, that in our collective humanity, we have the skills and the resources and the innovation and the creativity to make a difference, and that each of our actions can have an effect. So the Great Turning is a moment of choice, and it's a moment of change from the industrial growth society to a life-sustaining society for the future generations. And the Work That Reconnects exists to support the Great Turning.